I mean, in the 60s, everybody was saying, like, weren't the 40s great? Hey, we powdered egg and buzz bombs and death and rickets, you know. I remember them rickets, yeah, when you could hardly walk, yeah, fabulous days then, weren't they? All I can remember about the 60s is wearing drain-pipe trousers, you know, and I've got reasonably thin legs, and I used to look like a two-pin plug. Embarrassing, you know. And like every age has its ups and downs, you know. I mean, the 60s was all right. It was all right. We had great pirate radio stations then. You know, Radio Caroline and stuff like that. And I always thought that was a great idea, rounding up all the DJs and putting them on a boat and sending them out to the Atlantic. But I mean, like, when you actually listen to them now, I mean, they were pathetic. I mean, when you think about it, in the 60s, Tony Blackburn was a cult. You're thinking what I'm thinking, aren't you? Some things don't change, do they, really? Yeah. All right, I'll go with that one. All right, then. Cult. I did say cult, didn't I? That's right. Because that's a 60s word, isn't it? Cult. We used to use that a lot in the 60s. You know, he's a cult. And there's loads of words we use in the 60s we don't use anymore. You know, trendy, you hardly use that. Swinging, groovy, job. Long forgotten phrases like, here comes the bus. Yeah, good times, good times. Well, what else was about them? Good music too, eh? The Stones and the Beatles and stuff like that. Some crap as well, though, isn't there? Bobby V. I'm a rubber ball and I'm bouncing back to you. Oh, heavy, heavy, so profound. Eh? Peter, Paul and Mary singing Puff the Magic Dragon. They'd get to you now, wouldn't they? You couldn't sing that now. My God, they'd deport you, wouldn't they? And what everybody really wants to know about, you know, is like, because I mean, it was the permissive age, you know. I mean, it was the permissive age, and everybody's like, oh, what were the orgies like, Jasper? Hey, what were the lovings like? Hey. And I mean, I saw sod all, me. I tell you. It passed me by. It passed most people by. And I think it went on in a couple of parties in London, and that was it, you know. Everybody swears blind, they were at them. 16 million people at a party, don't figure, does it? The thing is, we're so bloody naive in the 60s. I mean, if you went to an orgy, you wouldn't know what to do, you know. You'd hang about in the corner just like... I mean, the pill came out in the 60s. Nobody had a bloody clue. I took it myself for 6 months. It's right. Then I found out you had to take it orally. I thought, oh. It's right. You try sticking one of them down your willy. It's no bloody joke. It kept me celibate. Thank you. The enlightened age, the 60s, I mean, you know, enlightenment, oh yes. Homosexuality was a crime in the 60s, you know that? Eh? And for punishment, they used to lock them up in prison with thousands of other men. Oh, so enlightened, you know. And drugs were supposed to be on drugs as well. God, I mean, God, nobody knew the difference between marijuana or Bovril. You got no chance. I mean, the parties I've been to and someone's passed round a Woodbine, you know. Acapulco Gold, man. I ain't had a bloody filter tip. I mean, we knew no difference. A couple of puffs and you saw blind, the Alsatian was melting, you know. Right? Then you get gate crashed by the flower power people, eh? Right bunch of divots they were, you know? Bell 10 caftans and bits of twigs sticking out of them, you know. Hey man, hey, I got this fab spaced out feeling in my head. That's blooming hay fever, that's what that was. And they all had a copy of the Sgt. Pepper album under their arm, because if you played the Sgt. Pepper album backwards, there was a message from the devil. Oh, look, we'd be there at parties, 40 people trying to get high on a woodbine, you know, listening to the Sgt. Pepper album going backwards. And, the message came right at the end. It says, "You've just buggered up your stylist." It didn't matter, because we used to have those dance set record players. Remember those pathetic things? Like, you could put like 300 singles on in one go, you know? Last year about a fortnight, you know, like, and you had to strap about 4 house bricks to the arm, keep it on the record. After 6 months old, like, I mean, there was no chance. You had to sit on the damn thing trying to keep it on the record. Oh, the 60s. I wonder what they'll say about the 80s in 20 years' time. I don't know either. I don't know. Do you worry about the future? Oh, good. I do. I don't know what's going to happen. I better not get into it, really. I shall get depressed, I know. I'm a coward, actually. I mean, that's what I mean. I am an out-and-out, abject coward, mate. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed. In fact, I'm quite proud of it, really. And I think everybody ought to be cowards. That's my philosophy on life. If everybody was a coward, there would be no war, correct? Because everybody would be too scared to start one. It's the bloody brave people who cause all the problems, isn't it? Oh, I mean, they're out the trenches first, aren't they? Oh, I'm going to throw myself on a grenade! Off you go, bye, bye. Have a nice time, yep, go in. It's all the brave people. You leave my bunch of cowards alone. No, you leave my bunch of cowards alone. And both bunches of cowards go, no, it's okay, really don't. The Swiss have got the right idea. The Swiss haven't had a war in 500 years, you know that? I mean, they must all be cowards. Oh, I'd love to live there. I mean, any sign of war, and the Swiss immediately hide in the lorries with the big red cross on. Not a bad thought, is it, really? No. Swiss have got the right idea. Nobody is set upon the Swiss, would they? The Swiss have got the ultimate deterrent when you think about it. I mean, like, anybody declares war on the Swiss and they just go, hang on, we've got your money. Yeah. It's no fun being a coward, you know. You can't go to the cinema because they turn the lights out. They say the meek shall inherit the earth. They can have it. I don't want any hassle from the meek. I don't want the meek coming up nutting me because they want the earth. They can have it. Alternatives, like it's a new word, isn't it, really? It means, what does it mean? It means trendy, I suppose. The equivalent to trendy now, we don't use that anymore. It's alternative, everything, isn't it? Alternative cinema and drama, music, comedy, medicines. It's all worrying. It worries me. Alternative medicine. Oh, you know, you're supposed to chew roses to get better and stick gladioli up your rectum and or it'll be acupuncture and sticking needles in you so you get better, eh? Oh, I'll have some of that, thank you very much. Oh, I'll be first in the queue for that, you know. Supposing you're a haemophiliac, what do you do? The rest of you can look it up when you get home, but It's just, I mean, if it ever caught on, it'd be nonsense. We'd totally revolutionise the health service. They'd get rid of all the hospitals and replace them with greenhouses. You know? In a traffic accident, you'll have to pull over and make way for the Interflora van. If somebody collapses in a busy street and a bloke will be trying to get through, make way, I'm a gardener. But I mean, you need alternative methods. We've got alternative diseases. Well, we have, I mean, all this AIDS business. I mean, Well, I mean, I won't go into that, but I mean, oh, blimey, it scares the earlobes off you, doesn't it? And the only good thing about AIDS is it's wiped herpes off the face of the earth. You don't hear about herpes anymore now, do you? I mean, it's AIDS, and what will it be next year? Hey, crampies. For people who have sex in Reliant Robins, you know. I'll tell you what it worries me, eh? I mean, like, oh, herpes, AIDS, I mean, ordinary venereal disease is nothing now, is it? It's like having a dose of flu, isn't it? You don't think? You see people coming out of health clinics going, it's okay, I've only got syphilis. Oh, congratulations. Very good. Oh dear. Alternative. What else is there? Alternative religions. Have those? They've been around for years. Well, they have. Actually, I always think, you know, that religion has come about face now. I mean, these days, these days you just decide what lifestyle you want and find a religion to fit it. It's the other way. It should be the other way around. People say, what do you want to be? I don't know. Well, what do you like doing? Walking around a lot and wearing smart clothes and I'm into bondage and whips. Oh, you could be a Mormon. All these religions are so enthusiastic, aren't they? I mean, they're so convinced that they are the right ones and no one else. And there's millions of religions. They can't all be right, can they? All these Christadelphians and Christian Scientists, Seventh-day Adventists and Jehovah's Witnesses. I mean, my God, they're enthusiastic, aren't they? Enthusiastically spreading the word, which is no. Can we interest you in no? Jehovah's Witnesses are psychic, do you know that? They always know when you're in the bath. Because that's when they call. Ring, 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 ring. You think, oh, it must be something important. You get out the bath, put your robe on, run down, open the door. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, good morning. Did you know the world was going to end very soon? Oh, a lot sooner than you know, pal. You never get rid of them, can you? I'll give them a quick flash and they scarper on. It's another way. I'm going to write a book, 1001 Ways to Get Rid of Jehovah's Witnesses. Once they've got the foot in, that's it, aren't they? They're off. They've never heard of commas or full stops, have they? They teach them to talk and breathe through the skin at the same time, you know. Submerge them underwater for a month with the Book of Deuteronomy or something. Jaws wasn't a shark, it was a Jehovah's Witness. Alternatives. You could make up your own alternatives. And I was thinking about how about alternative prejudices? Hey, we're running out of those, aren't we? Hey, we've had sexism and racism and practically everything else. What can we get prejudiced about now? Who haven't we had a go at, eh? Hey, how about little old ladies, eh? Hey, let's get prejudiced against little old ladies, eh, the bastards, eh? We'll teach bus conductors to shove them off the seats, give the seats to skinheads. Have you seen the ridiculous clothes they wear? Those little hats that screw on top of their head. 65, you have to have a surgical thread put round your forehead. They have to fit. And they've all got bandy legs as well, haven't they? What do? Go to bed with a car jack between the knees? They move into the area and the house prices go up. And they play the Mantovani and James Last records all hours of the afternoon. And none of them have got jobs. The government ought to do something about it. Send them all back to Eastbourne, where they came from. It's easy prejudice, isn't it? Do you know who worry me? No. Plumbers. Any plumbers in? No. You worry me. Want to know why? Because plumbers always buy those special trousers that show 3 inches of bum cleavage. They come round your house and they start mending the sink, and you've got 3 inches of bum cleavage staring at you. And you've got to look at it, haven't you? You've got to stare at it. It's like a moth to a light bulb. I've got to stare at the bum cleavage. If he turns round, he'll know I'm staring at his bum cleavage. I asked one once why it was. It says it was somewhere handy to keep the Mars bar. I mean, mechanical people tend to worry me a great. It's not so much the general mechanics. It's like those people who do it part-time. You know, they mend their own cars because it's cheaper. You know, and they meet every Sunday morning outside the motor spares department. You know, buying gamut ridges and baffler suckers and God knows what. And they've all got the uniform on. It's a blue nylon jacket with a detachable hood. Right? And they've all got great amounts of crud underneath their fingernails. You know, and they've all got immense amounts of dandruff as well, incredible amounts. And that's why the hoods are detachable, because they have to keep emptying them out every so often. And they love nylon, they worship nylon shoes and socks and trousers and shirts and jackets and hats and gloves and scarves. And when they move, they generate static electricity, you know, and it gathers all the crud around them, and they walk down the street in this great big whirlwind of dust, you know. Every time they pass a lamppost, there's a 2 million volt discharge of electricity, and it welds all the nylon together, you know, and they start to sweat like a sauna bath, and all the steam starts to shoot out the collar, taking great thermals of dandruff up into the heavens. They're quite a sight, aren't they, really? Boy Scouts, they're enthusiastic. At least you can get your house painted for $1. Do you know it was Baden Powell's anniversary about 6 weeks ago? Did you see that? Yes. Oh, good. Because he's always worried me, you know. Baden Powell has always worried me. I mean, he must have been a bit cuckoo. I mean, I've always imagined that first meeting, you know, when it all started. I mean, he got his mates round, you know, and says, right, I've got a brand new idea. I go, what is it this time, Baden? It's a new movement called Scouting for Boys. What sort of boys, Baden? Oh, young boys. No one over, say, 16. What are you going to do with them? Oh, we'll put them all in short trousers, and we'll give them a woggle each. And every weekend we'll take them deep into the forest, teach them to tie each other up, and the best one can be a Queen Scout. Oh, you're off your bloody topper, Baden. No, I've got it all planned. I've even got a song. Listen, it goes, Ging, gang, gooly, 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 what? Leave me out, Baden, leave me out. Any store detectives in? There never is. What a grandiose title, isn't it? Store detective. It should be called store sneak. Please, sir, he's stealing things. What a miserable job having to guard Brillo pads for a living. They all seem to think they're in some New York detective series, don't they? See some poor old codger nicking a packet of haddock to stay alive, and they galvanise themselves into action and get the trolley out, you know, snap a blue light on their head and run down the aisle. OK, buddy, pull over. Wonder if you get store detectives in sex supermarkets. No, you'd never admit to that, would you? I'm a store dick in a sex supermarket. You'd have your work cut out. Everybody looks furtive in a sex supermarket. You You got something on your coat, sir? Excuse me, sir, we have reason to believe you've stolen a vibrator. Who, me? Now, in my luck, it'd have been one with a Duracell battery. You know?